Hare Krishna. When we quit thinking primarily about ourselves and our own self-preservation, we undergo a truly heroic transformation of consciousness. Joseph Campbell. More and more people are recognizing that social transformation rests on transformation of consciousness. Conscious leadership, conscious capitalism, conscious entrepreneurship, conscious environmentalism. These are becoming increasingly acceptable and popular words in today's influential circles. Because people are recognizing that any transformation that we make through social engineering, through economic reforms, through political realignments and revolutions also, all those changes need to be sustained, and for that there has to be a foundational change of consciousness. So what is this change of consciousness and how can it be brought about? Actually, our consciousness needs to expand. Presently, our consciousness is caught in narrow confines. And based on which narrow confines the consciousness is caught, our actions can be self-destructive, can be destructive for others, or they can be beneficial for ourselves and beneficial for others. Consider, for example, an alcoholic. The alcoholic may be intelligent, may be educated, may be smart, may be resourceful in various ways, and capable of doing a lot of things. And the person may be very well educated, well trained to do a lot of, say, economic work. But because of the attachment to alcohol, the consciousness is caught in alcohol. So it's constricted. And whatever this person does, the consciousness has to come back. How will I get a drink? When will I get a drink? And because of that constriction of consciousness, that person is limited. And often because of that, they take in substances that hurt themselves, and they behave in ways that hurts others. They squander their money, they ruin their relationships, they act in embarrassing ways, they get addicted. So when the urge for alcohol catches them, if at that time they think of their loved ones, they think about their responsibilities, the contributions that they are making, no, this is not that important, this is more important, let me focus on this. So if their consciousness can expand, then they can actually do so much more. So normally, based on whatever particular attachments we have, those attachments, they capture our consciousness and constrict our consciousness. And when our consciousness goes beyond me and my attachments, my pleasures, of course we cannot entirely give up thinking about ourselves, because ultimately it's our consciousness and it will be natural, as it is originating from us, it will naturally be connected with us and our well-being. But we can pursue our well-being in a way that hurts others, or we can pursue it in a way that helps others. Within a materialistic worldview, when we are thinking about pleasure only in terms of material objects, then often our pursuit of pleasure ends up hurting us. It is only when we recognize that our pleasure, when we find a way to experience happiness in a way that is elevating, that is not degrading, that is not going to harm others. That is what spiritual worldview does. Spiritual worldview enables us to move forwards to finding happiness not through gratification but through contribution. When we understand that we are parts of a whole, we are parts of God, Krishna, and in loving and serving Him, and in loving and serving other living beings in relationship with Him, in doing justice to our talents in a mood of service to Him, we find satisfaction through contribution, not through gratification. When this fundamental shift of ethos happens, then our consciousness expands dramatically. Then we experience fulfillment in a way that helps others, that doesn't hurt others. So we use our talents, we use our abilities, but in a way that doesn't take away others' things. So the Bhagavad Gita talks about this spiritual compassion when we see the equality of all living beings. And we do not delight in doing the things which give us pleasure but cause others suffering. Rather, we delight in the things which, in those activities which contribute to everyone's happiness. In fact, many of the self-centered drives, if we could become free from them, or even we could decrease our indulgence in them, if humans could do that, the world would become a much better place. The abuse, the misdirection of resources that happens because of self-centered desires, be it in terms of corporations for their profits, releasing effluents into rivers and polluting them and ruining the health of thousands of people, or be it in terms of power-hungry people causing wars just so that they could further their own ends. All these can be considerably decreased and we can move towards higher meaning, higher fulfillment. And this transformation of consciousness is truly heroic. People have a conception of a hero as somebody who is very attractive, very powerful, and that hero comes and helps people who are in need. And we all can become spiritually attractive, spiritually powerful, and we can be of tangible assistance to others if our consciousness transforms. And Bhakti Yoga is the time-honored process for transformation of our consciousness. By this process, we become purified. We learn to find satisfaction not in gratification but in contribution. Thus, by understanding spiritual knowledge and applying spiritual knowledge through the practice of Bhakti Yoga, we all can transform our consciousness, become spiritual heroes and contribute to others, inspiring them to transform their consciousness and to embrace the path of spiritual heroism. Such a transformation of consciousness is the foundational basis for any sustainable transformation of society and of humanity. Thank you. Hare Krishna.